Hey, what's up? How you doing, man? It's me, Justin Redrick, known in the Bitcoin space as the Bitcoin Vegan, also the author of From Bars to Bitcoin, which is out now on Amazon and also my website. I hope everyone is doing well. Listen, this is the first time I'm ever doing this. I woke up this morning. Today is October 7th, and today is a very, very special day. I mean, things just happened overnight. Earlier this week, I'm not going to reveal the name, but it's a big deal. I got hit up. Someone asked me, hey, are you interested in coming out, for an interview? I like to do interviews. I hit them up first and then they replied, but it was like, yeah, I like to do interviews person to person. I'm like, okay, cool. So in my mind, I'm thinking I got to wait till the next Bitcoin conference to see this individual. Then they asked me like, well, what if I fly you out? All right, well, shoot, I ain't never been flew out for the weekend, that was neat. When you say you had opportunities, they come about, and you just gotta be ready for them. You gotta be ready. I just packed up. I said, yo, I'm coming down there. I got a friend who lives down here, so I'm not paying for a place to stay. So it is really, really lit. But you guys say you have opportunities. And another thing that's going on today, a few hours, like I said, it's October 7th. I'm going to drop this today. I don't know when you're going to watch it. But they are having the Crypto for the Culture virtual conference held by Lisa Fancified of Crypto Tutors. This is going to be real lit. There's some big, mega people out there. I'm scheduled to be on there at 2:45 Eastern Standard Time, 1:45 Central Time. So you want to check that out. The link to that conference will be in my show notes. Crypto Tutors, Crypto for the Culture conference. It's sponsored by Visa, Square. I know Crypto Tools is sponsoring, I think Gemini, a few others. I don't want to get the names wrong. I don't want to throw out no companies that's not really sponsoring this event. But I know those four for sure. So again, if you're new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe. I know I mentioned I want to start my own show, but we got some things working on in the background. So we're gonna push that type of the podcast to the side. But right about now, I want to do something real special. So I woke up this morning. And my good friend, Aquania S. Carnet, she's always been saying, Justin, you need to do a reading of the book. You need to do some readings of your book. I'm like, all right, so we're going to do that. So for the next few days, I'm going to read maybe a chapter or two. I know I kind of wrote this book in not just sporadic fashion, but was in the moment, just me. So I'm going to read the book front to back, cover to cover. We're going to do probably, like I said, a chapter, a setting. I'm going to aim for a chapter, a setting. If it's too short of a chapter, then I'll give you 2 chapters, all right? But right about now, we're just going to get into that. And again, this is for those people who aren't even able to watch, or you never, you haven't bought the book yet, but you want to know more about the book. Hey, this is your time to get it, all right? So we're going to crank this thing open right now. All right, so From Bars to Bitcoin by Justin Redrick. This is lit, y'all. This is my first time reading this book, too. All right, so, I give you the publishing page, but something is really, really important. I want you to see that dedication page, all right? Those names, we got Travis Moore, Kobe Bryant, Darian Stevenson, Silas Ross, and Courtney Redrick Gant. These are some very influential people in my life. What's even wilder is the last 3 that perished in 2020. All of those guys are in this book, and I wanted them to read this book before they had passed, but I didn't get the book finished in time. So one of the things you want to do, if you're out there, if you're doing a project or if you're working on some things that you want a lot of people, that love you and support you to see it, you need to get it done, because you don't know, what could happen. So. Travis Moore, July 20th, 1989, passed February 18th, 2007. This book is dedicated to the following people who had a profound impact on my life. Travis Moore, July 20th, 1989, February 18th, 2007. Kobe Bryant, August 23rd, 1978, died January 26th, 2020. Darian Stevenson was born May 12th, 1989, passed June 22nd, 2020. Silas Ross, born April 28th, 1987, passed August 11, 2020. And my cousin, Courtney Redrick Gant, June 25th, 1987, passed September 21st, 2020. So that's the very first page, dedication page. And those names have been real key. So again, another thing is I knew I had to, when people that are great pass, you got to respond. You got to respect their name by going hard. I once read in the book by Stephen Kotler. It was the book Decoding Superman. And it would say every time like an action adventure sport person would die, the people in that sport would remember their name by going harder or testing what killed him. So you got to go great for the greats after they perish, all right? Because I look at it like this. When a great figure dies, that means the universe has opened that slot for someone else. And you get to be that person to feel it, or you get to be that person who just sits back on the side. So we're going to get into it. All right, so the preface. I used to say this all wrong. I used to call it preface. As a kid, I used to call it preface. So thanks for purchasing from Bars to Bitcoin. This book will give you great insight into the journey I took from being in prison to entrepreneurship to all the growth that took place in my life that ultimately led me to Bitcoin. Throughout this book, I tell my story and describe the lessons learned using one of nature's fiercest predators as an example. After studying the tactics and predator mentality of the orca whale, I chose to use this animal as a metaphor for my personal journey. As you move forward through this book, I reveal different aspects of the orca mentality that got me where I am today. I call these bits of wisdom orca moments, and hope that you find them useful in your own personal development. Now here's a little bit of the background on why I chose the orca to tell my story. This is actually going to be lit, you know what I mean? It's going to be lit. Before I do that, I want y'all to see this right here. An ocean filled with sharks, be the orca. This was going to actually be the book name of the book before this. This was going to be the book name. Shout out to my man, Antonio Anderson. He runs one of the dopest pages on IG, Crypto Maniacs, and also CoinSauce News. Antonio Anderson actually created both this book cover, my book cover, and Bitcoin's A's. So if you need a book cover done, holla at my mans. But yeah, this was going to be the title until I switched it. And notice how this orca whale is eating the shark. So let's get into it. If you have not yet, and you want to buy this book, you need to go do it. So why the orca? I know what you're thinking, Justin. Why the hell would I want to be free-willing and not the great white shark, and not the great white shark in the movie Jaws? Yeah, trust me, I get it. That's why I'm taking this time now to share this with you before you dive into this book. Yes, I use the word dive. The shark. Now, if you're a parent and I just made you think of the hit YouTube song Baby Shark, I truly apologize. And if you're not a parent, you're in for a great ride. Let's take a deep look at the shark. Sharks are said to be kings of the ocean. They're the most well-known ocean predators with over 1,000 vicious sharp teeth that get replaced each time an older tooth is damaged. The shark is a mindless killing machine that incites fear in everything it encounters. If you ever watch Shark Week on Discovery Channel, you'll learn a shark has little to no strategy as a solo hunter. Later on, we will see the cons of working alone and the pros of working together as a group. Needless to say, the shark is a real alpha. However, being an alpha has its flaws. Oh no, what does that mean? The orca. Now let's look at the orca. Give yourself the time to think of all the things you know about an orca. But wait. I need some more water, damn. Chances are it's not much, unless you're into animals or a marine biologist. Most people first thought of an orca whale might be the legendary Shamu at SeaWorld, or maybe even Free Willy jumping over a wall of rocks towards his freedom. Don't feel bad because I was once like you. When I was in 3rd grade, I remember loving Free Willy so much, I tried to jump over a jacuzzi attached to a pool. Dumbass decision. That didn't turn out so well. My leg got caught inside the jacuzzi wall, and this day I hit my leg, and this day, if I hit my leg the wrong way, I can still feel some pain. The crazy thing is, I never went to the hospital. My mom patched me up, and I went to school the very next day, almost dragging my leg to walk. Thanks, Mom. So one day I looked up how orcas got the name killer whales. I headed to YouTube to find the answer, and in one video I heard a narrator refer to the orca as an apex predator of the sea. Now when you hear something like that, when you hear something like this, your ears perk up a bit, and you have to figure out how that's possible. Again, all you mainly hear about are sharks. The first thing I did was find a definition of an apex predator. According to the Webster Merriam Dictionary, it's a predator top of a food chain that is not preyed upon by any other animal. Outside of humans, the orca is at the top of the food chain. Learning this blew my mind. By now you're probably thinking, Justin, what the hell does this have to do with life, business? Furthermore, what the hell does this have to do with me? Just relax. I promise it's going to make sense. I promise this is all going to make sense. After learning this, I really looked into thinking a bit deeper. I started thinking a bit deeper. Why wasn't this talked about on TV? Why is the shark glorified as king of the sea? Why is the shark so popular? I did some searching on YouTube and found a video called Why Killer Whales Are Apex Predators, where I learned astoundingly. What makes the orca the apex predator? The name orca comes from the mythical Orcus, the Roman god of death. This reputation as a killer whale likely stems from sailors who had long ago may have seen orcas playing on whale species. The sailors called the orcas whale killers, but over time the name morphed to killer whale. Ironically, orcas are not whales, but they belong to the dolphin family. They are known to hunt prey of any size, including great white sharks, and yes, even whales. Senses. Orcas have an acute underwater hearing. They can hear each other from 10 miles away. They use noise to hunt and detect the size of their prey. This is why they don't attack humans. Hunting strategy. Orcas are highly sophisticated and creative hunters. They work in a pod using all types of strategies and techniques to take the prey down. Ingenuity and hunting intelligence is passed down from one generation to the next. Orcas adapt their strategy according to their prey. They locate their target using echolocation and a method of interpreting underwater sound waves. Once orcas will surround the school, once the target is found, there's no hope for the prey. Damn. When hunting for fish, orcas will surround the school, bolt blubbles at them or hit them with their tails and stun them, then pick off the shocked fish. Orcas will change their hunting method for fast-swimming fish like tuna. Instead of trying to catch tuna, orcas will just chase them with the goal of tiring out the fish. After their prey is exhausted, they eat them. They're also known to do something called wave watching, which is kind of like playing with their food. Orcas will slap their prey with their tail or headbutt them before eating it. Communication. Orcas produce clicks, whistles, and pulse calls. They use clicks to locate prey, navigate, and interact socially. Orca family members are also known to speak in their own dialect composed of specific repetitive calls. This dialect is learned through an orca mothers and orca pod members. This family language is a special way orcas maintain group identity and cohesiveness. How similar a dialect can reflect the degree of relatedness between pods. Now, the great white versus the orca. Great white sharks don't come close to rivaling orcas based on size. A great white shark's average length is about 15 to 20 feet, and their average weight is 3 tons. In comparison, the orcas between 20 to 30 feet, or 23 to 32 feet long, and weighs 10 tons. In addition to their physical differences, they have major behavioral differences as well. In 2017, beachgoers discovered the bodies of great white sharks washed upon the beaches of South Africa. The bodies ranged in size from 9 feet to 16 feet. Allegedly, all had their livers eaten out of them by orcas. Perhaps because they all worked together, orcas figured out that shark liver was healthy and tasted great. Another example of this happened in 1997 when a marine biologist noticed an orca slam into a great white shark and stun the shark. This gave the orca ability to flip the shark over and drown him and eat out his liver. God damn. Protectors of humans. Orcas are the social protector of humankind and referred to as the Lord of Ocean by Native Americans. Curious and always willing to explore new things, orcas have been taught to protect humans from sharks, even when boats are capsized. They're even known to help humans hunt whales by driving whales towards ships in exchange for a whale's tongue. Interestingly enough, there are no reported attacks on humans in the wild, and orcas are not an endangered species as of now. This explains why most of us don't have much to come in mind other than free willing when you think about orcas. Now you're probably saying to yourself, okay, great, Justin. Thanks for the history lesson. What the hell does this have to do with anything? I'm glad you asked. Turn the page and let's dive into the goal of this book. So, the reason I even shared that, right, was because there's a certain mentality you want to look at. when like for myself coming up, you know, as an entrepreneur in Bitcoin and in business or whatnot, I realized that there were different ways I had to go about, you know, putting the pieces to this puzzle together, really turning my own life around and how I was going to do that. You know, I didn't have the degrees, I didn't have the experience, I didn't have a degree or work experience. Hell, I had a record, so that put me into a certain category of what I could make per hour. So I'm like, man, you know, fuck it. We're not about to do all this. We're not doing all of this. What are we gonna do? We're gonna have to find a way with what is out there and then move towards that. So I gave you that history lesson because I want you to notice that there's a difference between being vicious and popular, but being unknown and being number one, right? So in the book, I go a little bit deeper into those aspects, but just notice that like the great white shark was known all over the world as the beast, but he's over there getting destroyed by orcas who are, I can't say they soft-spoken, but they're intelligent enough to know not to eat humans. All right, they work together. They have communication. They have hunting skills. They work as a pod, and they work together to go eat and live. So think about that in terms, like I said, the shark hunts alone. More times than not, it's a solo hunter, hoping to get food. I mean, he eats, but to what degree? How much energy he's using to eat? When you go at things by yourself, you know, you got to use a lot of time. And that time could be used better if you work with more people, and you don't have to use so much energy, but you get further. You feel me? So that the part about, you know, the orca versus the great white shark or any shark is for you to know that there's a distinct difference as to why you should look to do things in a better ways. You know what I mean? Because nowadays you want to be able to move efficiently, swiftly, but still cover a lot of ground. All right, so that was the very first, that wasn't even the first chapter. That was just what I like to call the preface and just why the orca. All right, so tune in again. I'm gonna pick another chapter to read. I definitely wanted to get that one out the way so you all could just have a good understanding of where this book will take you. So it might not be the same chapter every day. Might bounce around, you know, whatever. Of course, you gotta keep you on your toes. Can't give you the whole damn thing, shit. I still gotta do an audible. But with that being said, hey, if you like what you heard already, man, like I said, all the information is in the description. You can go on Amazon. I hope you go ahead from my website and you know, check it out. If you haven't already, please like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video with many people as you want, and let me know what you think about it. All right. So with that being said, I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Peace.